In this problem, we're given a line and some points. So let's start by just graphing all of those things. So we'll start with the points. We have point A at 9, 8. So that'll be over here. I'll label it A. Point B is 5, 4. So that'll be right here. And point C is 10, -1. That's down here. Okay, and then we also have this line y equals 5. Now, anytime you have y equals just a number, that's a horizontal line. If you have x equals just a number, that's when it's a vertical line. So in this case, we have a horizontal line going through 5. So we'll draw that in right there. And technically, ABC is a triangle, so we can connect those dots as well. Okay, so we're going to perform some transformations on that triangle ABC. And in order to do that, we have to sort of decode this notation here. And so it's a little bit backwards. We're going to read this notation from right to left. So that means we're going to do this part first and then this part. So this R stands for a reflection, and this little M tells us which line we are reflecting over. So in this case, we're reflecting over line M, which is this guy at y equals 5. After that, then we'll do a translation. So T stands for translate, and these little numbers, -2 and 0, tell us the direction that we'll translate it in. Okay, but let's start with the reflection. So we'll reflect each of these points, A, B, C, over the blue line here. So when we do that, we're going to count how far away each of the points is from that blue line. So for point A, this is 1, 2, 3 squares away from the line, and it's above it. So when we reflect, we're going to be 3 squares below it. So 1, 2, 3, that's where our new A should go. Now, I'm not going to label it A prime yet because we still have to do the translation later. Okay, but we know that this is going to be our kind of intermediate A point. B is 1 square below the line, so the reflected B is going to be 1 square above the blue line. C is, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares below the line. So our new C is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 squares above the blue line. Okay, now that we've done our reflection, now we can do the translation. So the way we interpret these numbers is the first number is your X translation. In other words, that's how far you're moving left or right. And the second number is your Y, or in other words, how much you're moving up and down. So because our X number is -2, that means we're going to move left 2 squares. And because the Y is 0, that means we're actually not going to move up or down at all. Okay, so going back to our intermediate points, we're just going to shift each one 2 to the left. So we'll start with the A point, which was down here. Move that 2 to the left, 1, 2, and we get our new point. And now I'll call that A prime because that's the final point for our transformed triangle. All right, next is our B. We're going to shift that 2 to the left, and there's our B prime. And last we have our C point, so shift that 2 to the left, and we'll have our C prime. And we can just connect those dots for good measure to see how it looks. And this question asked us to give the coordinates of each of those points, so now we'll just list it out. So our A prime is at, this guy is at 7, 2. Our B prime is at over here, that's at 3, 6. And our C prime is at, 8, 11. And there's our answer.